The Ol Painless patch. Get 75 kills with the Assault Juggernaut. To get the gold patch then is 150 total kills. Ol Painless, huh? More like very painful. If you think putting on a massive suit of armor and walking around with a death machine sounds awesome, well, it is. In theory. In the actual game, though, come on in and let me tell you a tale of woe of Ol Painless. So the Assault Juggernaut is an airdrop of a specialized suit of armor equipped with a minigun, obtainable at 11 kills. This minigun has 250 rounds of ammunition, which has the potential for just a 2-shot kill. Let's be honest though, you'll likely never use all 250 rounds simply because you'll die before you get the opportunity. If you survive longer than 2 minutes in the Juggernaut suit, consider yourself elite. With that said, don't be afraid to spray the shit out of your enemies with this. Even if you're not on target, laying down cover fire or just simply spraying and praying around corners is the way to go with this. 250 rounds is a lot. You don't want to wissyfoot your ammo by being precise, especially if you're going to die soon. Spray loud and proud. The first thing you'll notice is that the Juggernaut is extremely slow. The streak also comes equipped with a P226 secondary weapon, which gives you a very slight speed boost if sprinting with it. So because of this speed issue, the Assault Juggernaut is a poor kill streak in modes that demand mobility. However, it's an excellent kill streak for guarding a defensible area. Taking out an entrenched Juggernaut without specialized equipment is somewhat between difficult and suicidal. The biggest issue with this kill streak is that you show up on your enemy's minimap 100% of the time. In real time. By real time, I mean it's as if your enemies have an orbital VSAT specifically targeting you. So when you're the Assault Juggernaut, you have to be extremely paranoid. Since everyone can see you 100% of the time, you have to constantly check your rear. You'll want to be sure to check your flank every few seconds or risk being swarmed and overwhelmed by more than one player. A smart tactic, in my opinion, is to back yourself into an area with no flank routes. An example of this is one of the hallways on the freefall map. Since you're at an obvious disadvantage by being visible by everyone at all times, back yourself into an area that has only one entrance so no one can sideswipe you. It should go without saying that despite being a Juggernaut, you still can die very quickly. Unlike in Modern Warfare 3, the player's health does not regenerate while operating this suit. Now getting kills with the Juggernaut suit itself does not count towards other kill streak rewards. However, completing objectives while in the suit does. So, for example, if you're playing Kill Confirmed and are in the Assault Juggernaut suit, collecting tags will count towards your next streak. One thing to be leery of as the Juggernaut is the Panzerfaust or the Mach launcher. Both are one-shot kills to any Juggernaut. Since the Assault Juggernaut is always displayed on the minimap, don't be surprised if someone changes to their Panzerfaust class and is waiting patiently for you. Since everyone knows exactly where you are at all times, you're bound to walk into a rocket launcher booby trap sooner or later. It won't be pretty. Also, be very careful where you call this sucker in at. I can't even tell you how many of these I've had bounce off the map or land out of reach. Not to mention there's always a James Bond wannabe lurking about. You think an area is clear, you call it in, wait for it to drop, and bam! Out of nowhere, someone was watching you and waiting for the right time to pounce and gank your suit. Just be very careful. I've noticed that your enemies will do all they can to take advantage of being able to see you at all times. Also, since you're so slow, your enemies can attack you and run, a bait and run if you will. Don't fall for it. If someone shoots at you briefly only to appear to run away, he's most likely waiting for you to trudge your way right into his trap. I must stress that you need to be smart with the Juggernaut suit. All it takes is one bad decision to have a bad time with this Juggernaut. Watch here as I stupidly decide to go in the center of the map. Are you kidding me? What the fudge was I thinking? Remember earlier I stated to go back yourself into a corner? Clearly I don't follow my own advice. Watch as I'm literally ripped to shreds from virtually every angle possible, and I die shortly thereafter. Oh, and by the way, you also come equipped with a Canister Bomb, but this thing is virtually useless. You do not get strong arms, so you can't throw this thing more than a few feet. Half the time I bothered to use it, it almost blew me up due to the lackluster distance it traveled. I don't think I've ever gotten a kill with it while in the Assault Juggernaut suit. I've had a few chances to throw one into a crowded room, such as the B flag on Whiteout, but it never makes it far enough. Not to mention you have to twist it and throw it, which takes time and leaves you exposed. I just want to mention that any clip in this video was before they patched the Assault Juggernaut. The buff they did add was to add the focus perk as well as increase the movement speed slightly. I'll admit, the flinch before the patch was pretty ridiculous. So these buffs helped the streak out, but not very much. Before we get to the class setups, let me give my honest opinion on this streak. It sounded great on paper, but in actuality it was very difficult to use. More often than not, you'll get swarmed due to everyone knowing where you are and you'll die instantly. You have to be very, very cautious. But it's extremely hard to do since everyone can anticipate your moves. Like I said earlier, just spray and pray the hell out of that minigun and hope for the best. The range on the minigun is pretty good, so don't be afraid to spray across the map as well. So getting 11 kills for the Assault Juggernaut is pretty difficult for most people. I'll give you two of my favorite loadouts and hope one of them works for you. Let me be blunt though, unless you have someone earning Assault Juggernauts for you, this patch is going to take a lot of time. You more often than not die extremely fast. You'll probably average only about 5 kills in the Assault Juggernaut suit. If you need 75 kills for this patch, that's 15 Assault Juggernauts you need to call in. That's a lot of 11 streaks. Watch how fast I acquire the Assault Juggernaut using this setup here. I'll put a timer on the screen and we can see how fast I get it. The first loadout, and if you know me, it's one of my favorites, has been covered before. In fact, I did an entire class setup video on this exact loadout. I'll link it here on the screen as well as in the description. Briefly though, it's the Riot Shield with the radar and 2 throwing knives. The perks for this setup are Strong Arm, Reflex, Scavenger, Extra Lethal for 2 knives, and Hardline. The streaks I ran are IMS, Sentry, and the Assault Juggernaut. I recommend this class for kill confirmed as it's relatively easy to collect tags with the shield out. The second loadout is a heavy duty one that I found worked more often than not for me. First, use any LMG you want. My personal preference was the Amelie. I know a lot of people love the M27, so use that if you prefer it. In fact, any LMG will do, except for maybe the chainsaw. The perks you'll want are Ready Up, as this is a staple in any loadout in Ghost, to get your weapon up fast enough after sprinting. Sleight of Hand, which I'll discuss in a second. Reflex, and again I'll discuss this in just a moment. Dead Silence, as you don't want to be heard, nor do you want to hear your own footsteps. Focus, to obviously reduce flinch when being shot at. And the key is Ping. So let me explain this a second. Sleight of Hand and Reflex are valuable to this loadout to scavenge a weapon off the ground. Since I didn't include the Scavenger perk in this loadout, you can instantly pick up and reload any scavenged weapon with ease. Having an LMG for close range and say maybe a Remington you picked up off the ground for long range will help you out on the 11 kill streak. Being able to instantly switch between these two and reload instantly is a perk. So in my opinion, Ping is a severely undervalued perk in Call of Duty Ghosts. I especially love this coupled with any LMG. Since you have so much starting ammo, you can spray choke points as enemies pour in without worrying about conserving ammo. Watch here as I demonstrate the effects of Ping. Each time I kill someone, a ping radiates out identical to the radar on the Riot Shield. Several times after killing someone, the ping indicates a guy I never would have known was even there. This, of course, is invaluable to keeping you alive for an 11 kill streak. I recommend the IMS and the Sentry Gun to go along with the Assault Juggernaut. If you're on a wide open map with little cover, you could probably switch a Trinity Rocket for the Sentry Gun. So I tried a variety of loadouts, and more often than not they always involve the ping perk. If you're struggling to get an 11 kill streak, try adding this perk to your loadouts. I almost always advise the IMS and Sentry Gun for the most bang for your buck in aiding you getting the Assault Juggernaut. If positioned properly, both could and should get you at least 3 kills each, which makes getting 11 kills that much easier. If you find that getting an 11 kill streak is just too much trouble, try adding Hardline and playing defensively. 10 kills with a few assists doesn't sound like it would be that much easier, but it is. Those assists can rack up quickly. If you want, try adding some tactical grenades, which could net you a few easy assists. Regardless of how you get the Assault Juggernaut, just remember to play it safe once you do. You may think you're invincible with the Juggernaut armor, but rest assured you're a marked man once you put that suit on. In my opinion, your estimated time of survival is usually under 2 minutes. So to recap the important parts that I've said, never walk into the center of the map. Try to find a position that only has one entrance so no one can flank you. Do not try to conserve your minigun ammo. Spray and pray near and far. The sheer power of the minigun will do the rest. Do not try and use the Canister Bomb. It's wank on the cob. And lastly, do not fall for the bait and run tactic. If someone shoots you and instantly flees, do not follow them. Follow these tactics along with my loadouts, and you may just survive long enough to get those 75 kills. And, if you're even braver, the 150 kills for the gold version of the patch. Ol Painless is anything but painless. At least the patch looks cool.